Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Wake up, Link.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Game Center Crown. My name is Joy, and this is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I got many requests to do this game, so here we are. I'm really excited, but also nervous because there's a lot to do in this game, and I hope you all realize what you're asking for is for an extremely long playthrough, so let's get started.
That is a Sheikah slate. Take it. It will help guide you after your long slumber.
New phone, who dis? We acquired the Sheikah slate, a mysterious tablet with a glowing center. You've never seen this device before, and yet there's something familiar about it. Alright, so we can access the Sheikah slate one of two ways. We're currently in the Shrine of Resurrection according to our Sheikah slate map. And if I zoom out, this is how big Hyrule is, you guys. And you might be thinking, oh, that's not so big. Wait till we get out there and start roaming around. You'll also notice, if I can get my cursor over there, here on the sides, and also over here, you can see some text. This is Sheikah text. And it actually is translatable. Actually, all the languages in this game are translatable. So as I know them, I will be telling you kind of some Easter eggs of what these things translate to. Some of them are pretty interesting. If we hit the other button, there's a plus and a minus button on the Switch controller. We're playing this on the Switch. And here we can see our boy. He's a sweet boy, and he's wearing some very spiffy Sheikah boxer briefs rather. But we have one key item, and we are not allowed to move over into our other items yet. You'll also notice that next to our map there in the bottom right, there is a little sound meter. So we're actually making quite a bit of sound, that purple bit. And if we crouch and move around, crouching increases your stealth, making it easier to sneak up on foes and animals. You can see the purple is a lot quieter. You can also see a Fahrenheit degree meter. In hot and cold, it looks like we're about 59 degrees Fahrenheit. If we access our Sheikah slate, it tells us that in the bottom left. So a bit chillier than room temperature, I'd say. We can come out here. And okay, full disclosure, and probably anybody that follows me on Tumblr knows, I have beaten this game and done a lot of the, like, all the side quests and all of the shrines, and somehow I missed these two chests the first time I played. So let's not do that. We're gonna get an old shirt, a thin shirt made long ago. It's coming apart at the seams, but it's better than nothing. The sleeves are a bit on the short side. And it's gonna give us all the tutorial shit. We should get some pants here. Well-worn trousers. These old trousers are threadbare in spots, but they're surprisingly comfortable. The legs are a bit too short, though. We can come in here and put some clothes on our boy. Yeah, the sleeves and the pants are a bit too short, huh, buddy? But it is better than nothing. And we don't have a weapon, which is why... Here, let me see if I can get up there. He's, like, actively surprised. How dare you. And there is no rolling, but there is sprint with a stamina meter. And we can jump incredibly and even backflip. So, some standard Zelda fare and some not so standard Zelda fare. We can tap our... And you'll notice the Sheikah eye is very prominent. We actually get to know a lot about the Sheikah, which is something I was really excited about. A lot of Sheikah... A lot of that good Sheikah lore.
Hold the Sheikah slate up to the pedestal. That will show you the way.
And so this works a lot like a tap pass, like on public transit. You just tap it and it gets going. It's authenticating. Something I want to point out really quick before we get started is one of the complaints that people had about this game is that, oh, you know, all that classic Zelda music isn't really in the game. To which me and a lot of people are saying, not so fast. It's hidden. And we should potentially be getting a hidden one here. If not, I'll point it out when it happens. But keep your ears open. Just kidding. This is not where it happened. It's my bad. But we will be... I'll do a side-by-side comparison as often as I can of where they hide the music in this game. It's very subtle.
Link, you are the light. Our light. That must shine upon Hyrule once again. Now go.
And we're off. We're off to the races. Mysterious voice. Wonder who it belongs to. She sounds nice, whoever she is. But there is climbing. There's a whole mess of shit. And Death Mountain right there. We have arrived to the Great Plateau from the Shrine of Resurrection. Right away. So it doesn't do that little animation every time. And whoa, hold on. Okay, so on my other game, I turned off motion controls. As you can see, it's kind of erratic. That's because it has some motion controls. Where is it? Holy shit, options. I don't want to use an amiibo. Aim with motion controls. We're going to turn that shit off. Okay, now we're back to the right analog stick. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, you can also whistle. But that's either to get your horse's attention or enemy's attention, and we will be catching and taming wild horses. But here is something that looks quite familiar from our Ocarina of Time playthrough. Hint, hint. And, there's an old man in a cave with some fire. It's dangerous to go alone. Speaking of it's dangerous to go alone, we can actually place markers wherever we look. So, for example, oh, I really want to go to that pillar right there. I just aim at it and set a marker. And that allows... It puts it on our map. So you can actually see how far away that is. But what's really interesting is that text coming out of it says, "It's dangerous to go alone," which is a reference to the very first Zelda game. And when I found that out, I thought that was pretty interesting. We're going to delete the pin for now. We're going to get going here. Get our first weapon. Are you ready? It's a fucking tree branch. It's wooden branches such as this are pretty common, but is surprisingly well balanced. It doesn't do much damage, but can serve as a weapon in a pinch. Yeah. I know what I'm doing. There's our sweet boy. Can we do a spin attack? Hell yeah, we can. Yeah, we are awesome. Right away, really quick, I don't necessarily need another tree branch, but aha, there are some mushrooms over here. Hylian shroom, a common mushroom found near trees around Hyrule. Eat it to restore half a heart. We're starting with our standard 3 hearts here. This is absolutely sort of a Fallout / Skyrim open world type of game where you kind of want to be hoarding everything you see. And I actually wonder if we can see something really quick. Here's the entrance to the Shrine of Resurrection. And I actually want to see if we can come back here and discover... Oh.
Link. Head for the point marked on the map in your Sheikah slate.
Well, alright, BZ. Follow the Sheikah slate. Excuse you. I have never had that happen before, probably because I didn't run back, but I want to check something first. And see if it's possible. It is not. Okay, so we'll be coming back to the Shrine of Resurrection, and there is something in our little bed that will be waiting for us, and it's not anything huge, but I would rather introduce it to you guys sooner rather than later. But we will be seeing what would have been hiding there. And oh my God, sorry, on my other game, I have all the hearts and a lot of stamina, and so seeing my itty bitty little stamina wheel here is freaking me out a little bit. Not gonna lie. But first, there's no rolling. We can actually sprint, you guys. Isn't that amazing? So, get some mushrooms. It'll be worth it. I promise. But let's follow the Sheikah slate. The mysterious lady voice is telling us to follow the Sheikah slate, so follow the Sheikah slate we shall. Because this is such an open world game, we are going to be hoarding a lot, and also there's going to be a lot to do. When I first was talking about doing content for this game, people were like, no, we really do want to see you spend 30 minutes foraging for wild berries. And I'm like, okay, I don't know if you know what you're signing up for. So these games will be running, these episodes will be running, I believe, about 20 to 30 minutes. We'll see if they need to run longer, like the Bloodborne and Dark Souls playthroughs, to get all the content in there, because there's a lot of shit to cover. Anyway, we can also climb trees. Son, you don't know what that is? The little question mark? It's an apple, son. It's a common fruit found on trees all around Hyrule. Eat it fresh or cook it to increase its effect. And I want that other apple. Thank you. And here's another mystery. It's a baked apple. Hold the horses. Direct heat has softened and sweetened this apple. Eat it to restore 3/4 of a heart. The old man says, I beg your pardon. I do believe that is my baked apple. You can't just go about taking whatever you please. Oh, forgive me. I could not resist pulling your leg. Please help yourself. An apple and an open flame make for a succulent treat. It is a bit strange to see another soul in these parts. Bye. Who are you? Me? I'll spare you my life story. I'm just an old fool who has lived here alone for quite some time now. What brings a bright-eyed young man like you to a place like this? Bye. Where are we? Answering a question with a question. That is fair enough. As I cannot imagine our meeting to be a simple coincidence, I shall tell you. This is the Great Plateau. According to legend, this is the birthplace of the entire kingdom of Hyrule.
Ooh.
That temple there, long ago, it was the site of many sacred ceremonies. Ever since the decline of the kingdom 100 years ago, it has sat abandoned in a state of decay. Yet another forgotten entity, a mere ghost of its former self. Well, thanks for that uplifting tale, old man. So, that's actually quite interesting if we think about it from... And this is where things start to get messy. Anybody that's ever kind of delved into Legend of Zelda lore understands that, and as canon from Nintendo's Hyrule Historia book, which I own, the the series splits off into divergent timelines. So they're all canon, but they exist within different timelines. And people are still kind of trying to figure out where Breath of the Wild really fits in, because it shows the convergence of a couple timelines, and that's really interesting. But if we think about it from an overall lore standpoint, the last playthrough on this channel that I've done at this point is the Ocarina of Time. And I'll just spoil it for you. That's the fucking Temple of Time right there. We can sort of take a guess that the Hyrule that we saw in Ocarina of Time took place in a much smaller area of land than this game did. And so it's sort of hinting that this all took place on the Great Plateau, of which we're at. We can also pick this up. This is a torch. This torch will stay lit once ignited, but if you put it away, the flame will be extinguished until you light it again. Yeah, I know how to change weapons. Well then, just help yourself to that torch there. And how, may I ask, are you planning to use it? As a weapon to set things on fire. It's a secret. I'm gonna set shit on fire. That is rather unnerving. Please be cautious with that around any dry grass that might catch fire. You know, there are plenty of monsters in this area. That torch would make a good weapon if need be. However, do not just swing it around without purpose. You must face your opponents and lock your sights on them. Yeah. Cool. What else do we got here? What's your story? What are you doing? I'm relaxing by the fireside, of course, although I'll need to cook myself another baked apple at some point. That's very pointed, dude. That's, it's kind of passive-aggressive. Simple foods such as apples are fine to eat raw, but roasting them on a fire makes them tastier and more nutritious. This is 100% the tutorial section of the game, the entire Great Plateau. So we're actually going to run around. And just so you can see what we can do here. Easy there! I love... Okay, the characters are very interactive in this game. They'll respond to what you're wearing, they'll respond to what you're doing. We can light that on fire. We can... I think he's trying to set that grass on fire, but yeah. And if we run, he puts it away and puts it in his back. But anyway, we lit a fire, and we can take the woodcutter's axe. It's a woodcutter's tool of choice for felling trees. Its formidable weight and uneven balancing make it a slow, inefficient weapon. I can speak to that firsthand. And, the Temple of Time. And, oh, what is that? Y'all, what is that? What could that be? Surely it can't be. Oh, hold on. When I say we need to hoard everything, I'm serious, and you'll notice I'm getting down here. Let me catch it. Let me catch the butterfly. Come on. Yes! You caught a summer-wing butterfly, a butterfly found in the woods and plains of warm regions. Its wings absorb the warmth of the sun, cook it with monster parts to create an elixir that makes you feel warm and fuzzy. But anyway, more importantly, and we need to be moving quick because swimming drains our stamina. But, God, could that be the Master Sword? Could that be our boy? Let's pull it from the pedestal! It's a rusty broadsword. This once fearsome sword has seen better days. It can do some damage in the right hands, but also breaks easily. So, that's fun. Baby's first weapon. Yeah. Okay, so. We also have some Hyrule bass. We do not have a way of catching things other than jumping in the water and hoping we are fast enough to catch it like that. We caught a Hyrule bass. It's an ordinary fish that can be found all over Hyrule. It can be eaten raw, but cooking it amplifies its healing abilities. Yeah, you can eat raw meat in this game. I don't know, I care about Link too much to really do that to him. But, yeah, you could do it. You could absolutely do it. And we're gonna get something that helps us jump around a lot easier. But we need to be following these points on our Sheikah slate in the bottom right. Those little gold objective points. Because this is a tutorial, and the sooner we get it over with, the sooner we can run around, and this is the Temple of Time. You can hear a piano softly in the background. And I hope you guys heard that. It was the Song of Time, but very slow and on a piano. That's actually pretty indicative of how the music in Breath of the Wild is as a whole. It's disjointed, it's very subtle, it's hidden, and there's a reason for that. We'll be finding that out soon enough. But I want to come down here, and we can actually see some of our first enemies. There's a bokoblin. And there's another one over to the left, and I don't want to start shit with too many of these guys. Yeah, come here. Easy. And what did you drop? You dropped a bokoblin horn, the severed horn of a bokoblin, a creature often encountered on the plains of Hyrule. It isn't edible, but it can be tossed into a stew with some critters to make an elixir. We want to be collecting animal parts. We can also pick up a boko club. Yeah. We're just picking up a bunch of weapons now. And yes, baby's first real pair of clothes, I believe is what this is. Hylian trousers, traditional dress trousers of Hyrule. The plush fabric makes these trousers quite comfortable, and their high durability makes them ideal for travelers. This is also the first Zelda game with voice acting, so we're gonna figure out what all certain things are pronounced like. For example, I was saying Hylian shield and things like that in the Ocarina of Time. It's Hylian. It is straight up Hylian. So now we have confirmation. Let's get going here. And yes, I changed my pants. Sorry, I didn't kind of be like, yep, change my pants. Let's put on these better ones. I'm not going to fuck with that. We're too weak for that. We need to really choose our battles here. In the beginning, we only have 3 hearts and a bunch of mushrooms and shit. So we really gotta be careful. But... oh, choo-choos. And our rusty broadsword is badly damaged. Okay. This is a thing in this game that pissed me off really badly in the beginning, and sometimes it still annoys me, even though I'm used to it. It'll start flashing red, and the game will also tell you when it's badly damaged. Weapon durability is a thing in this game, and your weapons will break. So you have to be careful. We can pick up a choo-choo jelly, a gelatinous substance that came from a choo-choo. It's unusable in this state, but applying a bit of elemental stimulation will change its form. So choo-choo jellies come in a couple different ways. We have this sort of standard variation here. You can apply fire to it to make a fire choo-choo jelly, or I believe it's like a red choo-choo jelly, and then you can make it cold and it'll make a white choo-choo jelly, and then a yellow one will be a shock choo-choo jelly, something like that, or a yellow choo-choo jelly will be shocking. And you can throw them as sort of grenades or what have you. But I'm going to, I actually wonder, we're very close to where it is, okay. And I know we're running a little bit over. I want to establish us first in this world before I cut the episode. And you can see these guys are like, hey, what is that? It's a tiny human. Oh, what is that? It's an arrow, common arrow. And we want to, and because my sword is badly damaged, you can throw it and it'll say it broke. And it gave us a little tooltip there about a critical hit. I can pick up our first Boko Bowl, a bow, sorry, Jesus, a basic bokoblin bow made of wood. It's made by taking any tree branch and just tying a string to either end, so don't expect much in the way of combat effectiveness. It will work well for us. We can pick up arrow +5 and a bokoblin horn. Pick up another bow. Baby's first bow. So, let's see. And you can also land headshots to get critical hits. Like that. And it'll give us that little jingle. Ooh, we're getting a lot of arrows. Traveler's sword, baby's first real sword, and a Boko shield. Things are coming up Millhouse. Yep, and it'll auto-equip it. I'm going to stick with the Boko club, and we'll switch to the sword when needed. That's one thing about this game is you really want to watch your weapons and being like, hey, let me save this really strong weapon for later when I actually really need it against a strong enemy. We're going up against grunts right now, but if we come over here, this is the area marked on our Sheikah slate, as we can see in the bottom right. And as I said earlier, the music is hidden in this game. All your favorite old tunes, or not all of them, but quite a few of them are hidden. This is a spot where it's going to be hidden. Place the Sheikah slate in the pedestal. I love how he's just like this? Sheikah Tower activated. Please watch for falling rocks. And we've activated the Great Plateau Tower, or at the very least we found it. Distilling local information. Here's where we activate it, and I want you to keep your ears open for a little hidden jingle. Right here. Regional map extracted. So that little it's the chest opening noise. It's just completely different. It's, well, not completely different. It's hidden in a way, and it's also digitized sounding. Some of the text that was coming down when it was distilling into that teardrop was do not remove Sheikah slate while downloading, and you know downloading information. It, kind of generic sort of technological text that we see a lot now, like don't disconnect your phone while it's syncing, that sort of thing. That's pretty fun. But now we have a map. These are kind of jokingly referred to as Ubisoft towers. Anybody that's played Assassin's Creed knows what that refers to. These act in much the same way.
Try to remember. You have been asleep for the past 100 years. The beast. When the beast regains its true power, this world will face its end. You must hurry, Link. Before it's too late.
Well, we followed the Sheikah slate, and if you were paying attention and keeping your ears open, you heard Zelda's lullaby in the background of that cutscene. Just a few little piano notes. Our girl Zelda is trapped in the castle. And that's the mysterious voice we've been hearing. I'm sure you kind of knew that already, but just to clarify. And that purple nastiness is Ganon, and also things referred to as malice. This episode has ran a little long, but holy shit, you guys, this is going to be such a long playthrough, but it is a beautiful game, and I'm really excited to share it with you. So, well, let's get out there. Hyrule ain't gonna save itself. Later, y'all.